To Port Elizabeth, where the fight for the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro continues. Preparations are underway ahead of Thursday's council meeting to vote on the budget. But politicians are struggling to come together, and now efforts will have to be made to ensure that National Treasury reviews its decision to recall money located for the Metro. Parties, of course, have their work cut out for them, as the DA and the ANC will busy meeting with smaller parties. Well, can they put their political differences aside and to approve the budget? And, of course, in a few weeks' time, and they have to decide who will wear the mayoral chain. A lot on the plate there for the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. And my colleague, that's ENC's political editor, has been up and about Epai, trying to understand what they are doing. Earlier, Vuyo, good morning again. I understand you were trying to get a hold of an ANC guest to talk to at this hour, as we promised an hour ago, but we're still waiting. But you spoke to the DA's Ngabapanga. Maybe you could just start there at this hour, just to remind us how is the DA going to approach, particularly this week's discussion on Thursday, to ensure that plus minus 800 million rand in CAPEX does not get returned to National Treasury?
Well, from what Ngabapanga was saying, he believes that they've got to do the right thing for the people. It's for the benefit of the people of the city, because if that budget is not approved and the plan that the bureaucrats here have to fix the problems identified by National Treasury, the problems identified by the Auditor General, if that money doesn't go where it is supposed to go, then it spells trouble for the people of the city. So they say they're prepared to put political differences aside in order to make sure that everything that is being demanded by National Treasury as preconditions for not recalling that money, that must happen. So they will support every effort. So the report or reports that will be tabled by the municipality on Thursday will have to be approved to make sure that that money doesn't get returned to national coffers. But it tells you of the extent of the problems here, because, I mean, with 4 months to go before the end of the municipal year, the financial year, you have like half the capital expenditure budgets of the municipality still unspent. I mean, Ngabapanga was talking about more than 3 billion rands, which is for the that is also at stake. That's got to do with the integrated public transport system of the metro here. So it's not only the 800 million rands that is being branded about. There's lots more that could actually leave the metro. And the situation here is dire, because the services do actually have to be delivered. But not only that, remember, the metro also has contracts with certain service providers, and they're legally bound to actually honor those contracts. So money would have to come from somewhere. The Treasury recalling the money is not really going to solve the problem. And that's the dilemma that everyone is faced with. Now, add to that the fact that there is no leadership, there is no mayor in the city. That is supposed to take place on the 12th. A special council meeting has been called, and from what I'm hearing, you heard Ngabapanga earlier saying that the DA is going to put forward its own candidate. I understand the ANC is going to do the same, and the EFF tells me is also going to put up its own candidate, which then means that there is potential for a lot of problems, because you can't have that situation. One would have hoped that by now the parties would have spoken to one another and agreed to some kind of a slate or permutation that will satisfy everyone. But of course, the ANC and the EFF seem to be confident that whoever they put forward as a candidate for mayor will win. But the DA is, of course, just as confident. Repeating, we were expecting the acting chief whip of the ANC to be here by now, who was going to tell us what the thinking is among his own comrades. And I understand he is, of course, he's acting as the chief whip at the moment, and he is the one who is going to be confirmed on that day when the council meets for that meeting, where a mayor will be, or at least it is expected, a mayor will be elected. He should be here any time from what you told me, but it's not here yet, Rodan.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there for now, and hopefully you can catch up with him later on. But all that's left for me to say now is that this Thursday discussion around the finances, the budgetary things, the capex expenditure is going to provide a very insightful foretaste of what's to come on the 12th of March. We'll have to wait.